Coming up on this week's edition of Get Uplifted.
We all have goals this time of year, but it's figuring out how to make them less overwhelming, less vague even sometimes.
Being in the yoga studio is just a quiet time to tune into my body and slow down a little bit.
Lifting, 1, 2, 3. Ren, I'm in awe of you. You just started this in 2020 and you're climbing over the ocean?
Yeah, I mean, thrill seekers out there, if you want to try something completely new, why not?
There's all sorts of different ways it emulates other art forms, and that's kind of what I love about it, is that it can be a dance, it can be juggling, it can be like little stunts.
Happy New Year. I'm Allison Seymour. In 2026, it's our year to shine. Right now, many of you are taking the first big step, turning hope into action by writing down your goals for the next 12 months. This year, I want to do what, right? Maybe do some more speaking, maybe start on that book I thought about for all these years. But we all know making resolutions, it's easy. Sticking to them, that's when the real work starts. So in this episode of Get Uplifted, we are sharing some of your New Year's resolutions, along with simple, smart tips to help you actually achieve them this time. Well, before you write down your resolutions, make a vision board. Now, this is a collage of images, words, affirmations that all represent your goals. Making this will help you determine what resolutions you want to prioritize. Peyton Johnson is a social media influencer living in DC with over 34,000 followers on Instagram. She is known for sharing outfits and beauty tips, but Peyton also makes vision boards annually to keep track of her goals. She joined me in December to walk us through how making a vision board really works. Here's that conversation. So it's the time of year where we are all doing vision boards. First of all, I'm just so amazed at the popularity of them. Why do you think vision boards are like so popular right now?
I feel like it's sort of that emotional side of your goals. So we all have goals this time of year, but it's figuring out how to make them less overwhelming, less vague even sometimes. So just getting that picture for us visual learners, having the image to sort of line up to those goals helps really bring them to life.
Okay, when it comes to choosing images, what's your method? What goes into choosing the right images?
So there's 4 basic steps to creating a vision board. I actually have the demonstration here. This on the screen is the vision board I personally created for this past year. At a glance, it's very overwhelming, a ton of different images here. The nice thing about a vision board is that it is images, it can be quotes, it can be phrases, symbols, any sort of thing that kind of sparks that emotional side of what your goals are.
Okay.
But I think the best way to do it is to actually break it down into categories. So when you figure out what your categories are for your goals, it's the best way to figure out how you're going to bring that vision board to life. So each of these sections is a different category. I have up here travel, romance, career, reading. It can be as broad as friendship, or it can be as specific as you want to read 20 books in the year.
Okay, so this is how you break it down. I guess it varies from person to person as far as what,
It does. I actually asked some of my Instagram followers what they were adding to their vision boards for this new year. And I got things from they want to go on more weekend trips, to they want to get engaged to their partner, to they want to actually get promoted in their job. So it can be as broad or specific, and there's no right or wrong. It's just what matters to you.
There's a lot of talk about visualization right now. How like important do you think it is to actually see it? Like here is a stack of money. This is what we're talking about. How important is it for that?
I think it's great because it's making you feel what that outcome is. So you're not only getting the idea of money, but you're going to feel, okay, what comes with money? Is it the access to opportunities like going on a fun boat, or maybe you're going to see the Eiffel Tower? What kind of comes with that opportunity? And you can break it down even more literally. For me, I like to go to Pinterest as that second step after I create the categories. So Pinterest is a free resource you can use, and personally I like to type in the emotional side of things. So you're not going to type in promotion if that's your goal. You're not typing promotion. You're going to type in successful career woman. So sort of what does that success look like? How does that come to life? Or in this example, for me, again, I wanted to have books be a bigger part of my year this past year. So I have things that are very literal where it says books, or actual stacks of books, or I could have the joy of reading books, or the relaxation or the alone time that comes with reading books. And I also, again, back to this quote, I love that it kind of ties into storytelling and reading, but it also is that broader picture of if you don't take chances, if you don't do things, you're not going to have that story to tell either.
No story. Okay, so lastly, like I remember when I started doing vision boards, right? So you literally went to the drugstore, got the poster board, and you put, and there were magazines, and you cut it out and all this. But now everything is really electronic. So what are some ways that we can sort of, because you need to look at it, you need to focus on it. How do you suggest that we do that?
So I think the best part about, you know, not having to go to the store and buy those things is that now when you're doing it digitally, it's all free. So you use Pinterest, like I mentioned, and you'll get photos up like this one, or this one is more of a career focus for me. But then you'll also get more of the side with Google Slides. I like to put it together in a collage format. So back to the original screen where we're showing all the categories, each of these is an individual photo that's collaged on top of each other. You can turn them around, you can, you know, flip them any direction you want, and then you get that end result, which is the final screen. And then where I like to keep them as that reminder is I like to set them as the last step for creating the vision board. Put them as my laptop background, the phone background. These are just simple ways that you're going to see it every single day. We're all on our computer or our phone every day.
And update it if you need to, right?
Absolutely. You can do it for different occasions. Maybe there's something important coming up for work, or you have an exciting trip. You can make a specific vision board for that certain instance that kind of helps you carve how that's going to come to life.
No risk, no story. That's what Peyton is leaving us with. Thank you so much. Here's to a happy and successful 2026.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now that we've shown you how to make your own vision board, let's talk about some of the things that you might want to put on it, starting with getting healthier, exercise, right? Specifically, yoga. Yoga is more than just a workout. It's a holistic practice that also improves your well-being by combining movement and mindfulness. And unlike most workouts, yoga is really versatile, making it really easy to stay consistent. So Kayla Kaufman is relatively new to yoga. Kayla has been practicing at Woodley Park Yoga Studio in Northwest DC for about 4 months. And Kayla joins us along with Woodley Park yoga instructor, our friend here on Get Uplifted, Elsie Sameka, about how yoga can make 2026 your best year yet. Ladies, thank you both for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Kayla, let's start with you. So relatively new. What has yoga done for you in your life?
Everything is so sensory maximalist in this world. Things are moving so fast and everything's coming at you all the time. And being in the yoga studio is just a quiet time to tune into my body and slow down a little bit.
You know, I love that. And the funny thing about that, and Elsie, I don't know if I talked to you about this before, but this is exactly the reason why I couldn't do yoga. But this was when my kids were small and I could not center myself enough to enjoy it and really get into it. So, but that's amazing that you would say that, Kayla, because maybe now I need to revisit it. So what would you say to those watching that say, you know, I've always wanted to try a yoga class. I don't know how to get started. What do you tell those people?
I tell them just go ahead and try it.
Right.
You know, and to what you spoke to, you know, we start the yoga with a relatively active sun salutation, and it helps you to center in and to focus on what you're doing.
Kayla, talk to me about how it has changed, like the physical point of, you know, yoga is not maybe the metaphysical point, but the physical. How has it changed you?
Sure. I mean, I think it's great for flexibility and for strength. It takes a lot of strength to do some of these, and there are some that I'm still working up to. And but you know, I'm still trying to do my headstand.
Oh my God. I was going to say, the last time Elsie was in here, she did a handstand, and I was like, whoa.
And she's got a perfect one.
Oh my gosh, of course.
And so do a lot of people. And I don't have mine yet, but every time I work towards it, I feel a little closer, I feel a little bit stronger. And I think that feeling of progress is so nice you can feel the actual change happening.
Absolutely. Now we're going to do a little demo, but before we do that, are there any sort of practices or things that we can do just in our regular life if we have never taken a class, just while we're sitting in our cubicle, while we're walking around? You talk a lot about posture, maybe core strength. Is there anything that we can incorporate?
Absolutely. Well, just in everyday life, you know, I think you just have to remember to, like, you know, draw your shoulders up and back, stand tall, maybe draw your lower belly in a bit. and breathe. There's nothing more important than those deep, steady breaths.
Right.
If you can do that, that will bring you an instant calming and focusing.
We have about 30 seconds left. Can you show us something?
Yeah.
Okay, what we'll see when we come to the Woodley Park studio.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to just show you very quickly our, with something we do at the beginning, our sun salutation A, and that warms you up and starts synchronizing your breath. And then we're going to show you something we do at closing, which is kind of like getting ready to relax. It's our last big effort in our celebration of the strength we're developing. So let's go. Inhale, reaching up, gazing up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting the head and chest. Exhale, back to chaturanga, lowering down, elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We usually stay here for 5, but we're not going today. We're gonna just look where we're going. Come forward, head up. Exhale, fold, and then inhale. Reach up, gaze up. Exhale, equal standing.
Beautiful.
And then we'll show you how we close. We're gonna skip the inversions today, and we'll go to our last closing. We do 3 breathing exercises at the end, and this is the last one of them, and it's preparing us to release and relax, but for now we're going to engage everything. So on the inhale, lifting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. All right.
My goodness. Kayla, I'm sorry. You've been doing this longer than 4 months. I don't want to hear it. You were a gymnast in your former life, whatever it was. Ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate it. How do we sign up for classes at Woodley Park?
All right. So just go onto woodleyparkyoga.com.
Okay.
And we have an intro series of 4 weeks starting next week. Okay. And also Saturday beginners.
Thank you so much. If you're looking for a thrill, why not rock climb? I know, you never thought about it, but wait, just give me a minute. Climbing offers a full body workout, can help reduce stress and help improve your problem solving skills. Yeah, all that. Rock climber Ren Marquez was born in Portugal, but has been living in England since she was a teenager and started climbing in 2020. She's competed on multiple climbing competitions around the UK. Also, every year she goes to Mallorca, Spain to participate in a deep water solo, which is a climb above the ocean. Ren joins us now to talk about her climbing journey. Ren, I'm in awe of you. You just started this in 2020 and you're climbing over the ocean?
Yeah, I mean, thrill seekers out there. If you want to try something completely new, why not? I thought the wall was too boring to stay indoors, so why not go to Spain and get the benefit of the sun as well as a little bit of the ocean, but just jump in it instead.
Tell me where you're joining us from before we continue.
Yeah, I'm joining you from all the way in the UK in London.
I love it. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Let's get into it. So you started rock climbing to fight. You're very open about this, to fight depression and anxiety. Talk to us about the person that you are today versus the person you were when you got started, and how climbing impacted your mental health journey.
I think overall, to summarize that question, I think I found myself, from being a personal trainer back in my days, quite an isolating sport from going to the gym itself. So I sort of got to a certain stage of my life where, it can be a little bit lonely if it's not at work or, your old school friends. Where else are you supposed to get, a different community around you and different friends? So I sort of threw myself into the deep end and started climbing, which I have been since, like you said, 2020. And the difference it's made to me has been massive. And the climbing community is so welcoming to all shapes and sizes, from whatever background you come from. And very supportive. And you feel like sometimes you can go on your own, or also you've got the benefit of going with a group of friends and meeting so many new people wherever you go. I've been in the UK to various different climbing centres, and as well as abroad, which I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But it's everywhere you go, everyone is so welcoming, and I just can't recommend it enough.
I love that so much. And you look like a regular Spider Woman out there climbing those rocks. You're amazing. Look at you go. Let's talk about some of the national peaks that you've climbed. Can you tell us about some of those spots?
Yeah, so I've climbed over 40 gyms in the UK. I think I do have obviously a far more planned this year, and with it being 2026 now. But it doesn't just limit you with these, with my journey, it doesn't just limit you to indoor climbing. I've also done quite a lot of outdoors, for example, in Wales. And like I said, you mentioned Spain. I go out to Spain every year for the last 4 years. It started off as a small group of us of 6, and in 2025 30 us have gone, and sort of, you know, we've done so much in the climbing community that your opportunity is endless, whether or not, you know, you don't even need it to be classified as a wall, a bouldering gym. You can literally climb anything. And you would just get into this mindset of it's such a thrilling, incredible, and like you said, problem solving, and it has every single benefit that you could possibly ask from a sport. It's just, you know, a little bit different, and finally being it recognized in the Olympics for the last couple of years has definitely made it into a mainstream sport now, which we're all very, very happy to see.
And you've inspired so many others with your journey and with your taking part in this sport. How does it make you feel to know that you've become a bit of a role model in this area?
Yeah, I think a lot of people say wishes or could have or should have done, you know, multiple things, but no one really takes the initiative to sort of come up with these plans, come up with these itineraries. So my motto of life is just don't wait, make it happen. So if you've got an idea, whether you do it on your own or, you know, with friends, as you can see from the videos, you can literally go climbing anywhere. So I think it's an incredible opportunity. If you've never tried it, I definitely recommend it. You know, you can walk in on your own, but I guarantee you'll walk away with at least one friend on your first time visiting a climbing centre. And I'm very grateful for the friends that I've made and the opportunities that I've been given.
Ren, thank you so much. That's Ren Marquez. She is a world-class rock climber. Thank you for spending some time with us all the way across the pond. Thank you.
Thank you, Alison.
Well, a social media influencer is turning card tricks into art. Coming up, what inspired him to start cardistry and the impact he's making online. Welcome back to Get Uplifted. Well, most of us start the new year saying we are going to read more this year, but chances are many of us fall short of our goals. It may be easier to hold yourself accountable by joining a book club, and there are dozens in the DMV, but today we are spotlighting Cozy Black Girl Book Club. Cameron Hunter started this club in 2023 as a way to keep herself accountable by hosting brunch with her fellow book lovers. Well, now it has grown into a movement with hundreds of members. Members read books written by Black authors with minority lead characters. The club, which hosts in-person and virtual meetups, has hosted many Q&As with best-selling authors, including Dr. Uche Blackstock, who wrote Legacy. And Cameron joins us now to talk more about the impact that the Cozy Black Girl Book Club is making right here in the DMV. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Talk about the growth of your book club. Did you think it was going to go here? Was this the vision when you started it?
In a one-word, no. Okay. So when I first started it, it was towards the end of 2023. Mm-hmm. I want to say like literally in December. I graduated from college in 2020, and during the pandemic, I know that a lot of people were getting back into hobbies.
Right.
But I come from science background, epidemiological background, and I just felt like I hadn't gotten to do a lot of reading for fun in a while, and specifically just wanting to read stories with people that look like myself. Right. I hadn't gotten to read a lot of those books. And so there was just a curiosity that came. It started with just friends where we would go and get brunch. I think it was funny because I had so many friends who were moving into the area. I'm from Virginia, and a lot of people who were looking for community. So even though it was people I knew, there was this kind of level of community that came from it that I'd never anticipated. And I think one day I decided to just put a flyer out in case other people were interested, because everyone seemed so excited about the idea.
Right.
And it just grew and grew.
And they said, yes, we would love to.
100%.
Right. So we're showing some video here. Describe the vibe, what it's like when you go to one of the, I know they're virtual, but also the in-person meetings. What's it like?
Ooh, okay. I mean, cozy is, I think, probably an easy way to put it. But to be honest, most members I feel like would say it's a lot more than cozy
Okay.
because there's an intimacy that comes in getting to connect with people. I think that are like-minded in terms of wanting to read, wanting to be creative, wanting to be in a space where, it's not work related. This is just for me. This is just for fun.
Right.
So I'll say the vibe is safe. That's the biggest thing that I want people to
What a
know
good word. Yeah.
is that it's a safe space, that it's created to embrace people. And I just want people to have that. I think there's a lot of experiences that I had that led up to the one thing that I would want in my free time is a space where I feel safe
Yes.
and where I feel comfortable. And I would love to be able to amplify that for others.
I love that so much. Talk to me about what's coming up in the time that we have in February. Any events coming up? How can people get involved?
Yeah, so lots of events coming up for us. I'll say that the Black Book Block Party is one of our biggest events that we do. So the Black Book Block Party, we're going to be doing one February 22nd. But essentially what the event is it's this large community network where we try to bring out as many authors, as many vendors as we can. The first one was in February of last year, and it was literally just, we were doing so many different types of events. We were doing writers workshops, we were doing craft spaces, just different things to accommodate 50 to 100 members that were growing and growing. And I think it just came to a space where I do a lot of activism stuff on the side as well. I was in a lot of organizing spaces, and if we have the platform to reach as many people, why wouldn't we talk about literature? Why wouldn't we amplify the authors that are looking for that space? So the Black Book Block Party, the first one was just an org meet and greet. We brought out a bunch of community organizations. And then the second one was when we went to Alexandria, and at the Morrison House Hotel, which is a banned book hotel, we were able to bring out, I want to say like close to 35 vendors, organizations.
It's an event. It's a whole thing.
It's a huge event,
Okay.
500 plus.
What? Okay. Well, where do we go online to get involved in what's happening in the 22nd and just in the book club itself? Is there a website, Instagram? How do we do it?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Cozy Girl Book Club. And we also have a Fable account there, but you follow us. We put all of our content on the Instagram. And on TikTok as well, you can find us at Cozy Girl Book Club.
Okay, I love it. Thanks for spending some time with us. Well, if you are still looking for something that suits you, perhaps you could pick up a new hobby or a skill. Haider Ahmad is part of the cardistry community. Now, this is the art of manipulating playing cards to create epic displays, cuts, and sequences. Think of it as cards dancing. Haider gained 133,000 followers on TikTok from showing off his card skills. He was named a finalist for Cardist of 2025 at Cardistry Con for his talents. Take a look. Oh, and get this, he is taking those skills and making displays and sequences with everyday objects, including cheese slices. Check it out. I bet that's the coolest thing you're going to see all day. Haider joins us now to talk about how his life has changed since taking up cardistry. Thanks for being with us. What an interesting talent you have.
Such a pleasure. Thank you. Yeah, it's peculiar, I'd say.
Yeah, I got to ask you this question. Like, what do your parents say you were like as a child?
Um, it's a pretty casual hobby, so they didn't have much to say about it. It would just be a little bit annoying with cards everywhere, like across the house. But other than that, they were pretty supportive,
I
and
love
it was
it.
just fun.
I love that. Okay, so describe what cardistry is, because I got to be honest, before talking with you, I did not know what it was. So for those of us who were unfamiliar with cardistry, I think we can pick it up having seen your skill set, but what is cardistry?
Yeah, I describe cardistry as just fun ways to manipulate cards. Um, there's all sorts of different ways it emulates other art forms, and that's kind of what I love about it, is that it can be a dance, it can be juggling, it can be like little stunts. But yeah, you can create all these little shapes, and it even has its own unique little traits, like I think you can see here, there's like ways to separate the cards in fun ways, and they create flowers. There's cool little shapes. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's so diverse that it's hard to label. But fun ways to manipulate cards is what I describe it.
So what inspired you to start? How'd you know you could do this? Like, tell me everything.
Yeah, so I think one summer I was really bored in middle school, and I look up the David Blaine special. Someone had recommended it to me. And for some reason, I was like, okay, I want to get into magic. This seems really cool, but in particular, card magic. And I realized, like, my dad, when I was a kid, he would create these little, like, flowers with cards.
Yeah.
And he would give them to us. And it would be a lot of fun just to, like, hold cards. There was something unique about how they feel. And subconsciously, I guess, later on, I was like, yeah, I want to do card magic. Not just any magic, but card magic.
Right.
And then later down the line, you're learning all the, little shuffles. You still got to have like good handling on a deck of cards. And this is still a very new art form. So it was kind of getting into those niche little shuffles. And then you get opened up to this new world of just the shuffles. So people are like concentrated on those because magic is very involved. Magic is like, oh, I got to go out and perform this to someone. Whereas cardistry is like very in the hands. I can just keep it to myself and I can practice it all the time. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And look, there's cardistry, con. This has just exploded. How has it changed your life, Hader? Maybe appreciating art in a new way.
Oh, man. It's definitely given me a lens of looking at the world a bit more like with an art lens, I guess you could say. It's funny to say that, but creatively, I can look at things creatively and bring them into my own perspective, especially with things like failure. I think of failure as a new route that I'm taking rather than, oh no, I messed up, right? Because whenever I'm dropping cards, it means I did something wrong. I'm learning something new. And I think that's what's really beautiful about that.
Really, right. A great way to look at life. And how do we follow you before we say goodbye?
Yeah, it's Cardistry on all platforms. ITS Cardistry, every platform.
I love it so much. Keep doing what you're doing. It's fascinating to watch. I wish we had more time. Do you still do any magic or no?
Yeah, I'll do it time to time. It's really fun.
Okay. Okay. Well, you have to join us again after you go to the World Cup and you take home everything and then, unless you're too big to talk to us. But if you're not, join us again on Get Uplifted. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Happy New Year. Well, with that, we say thank you so much for joining us on Get Uplifted. And if you want more Get Uplifted, watch my Get Uplifted stream right here on WUSA 9 Plus. And you can get your daily dose of Get Uplifted on WUSA 9 mornings. Stay uplifted.